Just a disclaimer, this video is not sponsored by Cafe Maya here in Honduras. Certainly because what I'm going to be talking about is not exactly favorable, although this is the coffee that my family drinks. So first of all, what I'm going to be talking about today, this will give you an idea of what I'm talking about. This is the Select, it's premium Cafe Maya. Comes in this orange colored kind of, I don't know if you call it orange or light brown colored bag. And then you have the regular Cafe Maya, which is a little bit cheaper. This one's more expensive. This one's a little bit cheaper. And then here's the one that corresponds to this bag. I guess I should put each one by their bag, right? And this one, which has a little bit fancier presentation, you will see typically in nicer upscale hotels, they'll have this kind of a bag. It's a little more, presentable and such. And of course, here's my trusty coffee, which is usually Cafe Maya, Maya coffee. And this is just one of the many brands of coffee that we have here in Honduras. There's Cafe El Indio, there's Cafe Maya, there's Cafe Medalla, there's all kinds of them, okay? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Well, hello everybody. So welcome to Expat Colin. And let me just get myself situated here so we can talk a little bit about the situation that's going on. And just give me a second here, guys. So we're going to be talking a lot about today in Expat Colin. As you know, Honduras, Central America. Are we being affected by the tariffs that President Trump is putting on practically the entire world, except for his buddies, Russia and North Korea and places like that? Well, unfortunately, here in this beautiful country, the very limited gross national product, very poor country, we are starting to feel the effects of it. And I just chose an everyday product like coffee to show you how this economical trade war starts to have effects, long-reaching effects, even in countries like in Central America. So when I see things like Liberation Day, and that as Americans, we need to be strong, don't be weak, be patient, you'll see the results. Well, I'm seeing the results right now. And I ask myself, Liberation Day for who? For whom? Who is being liberated? Who is being benefited by the U.S. economy tanking and the global economy tanking? It's going to affect ultimately the consumer. The consumer is the one that has the greatest effect in the end. So I'm going to be talking about a lot of statistics here, so I hope you can follow along with me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Honduran economy. So basically, as of the year 2024, okay, Daniela, deja sa perra en paz, deja a queenie in paz. Sorry, real life's going on. So the gross national product of Honduras in 2024 was $34 billion. Okay, that's the gross national product. Of that gross national product, $34 billion, coffee represents 5%. of the gross national product. And of agriculture, coffee makes up 30% of what we export from this country in agriculture. Coffee is a huge, huge, huge product here. That represents 5% of 34 billion is $1,700,000,000. That's the coffee uh, trade here every year, $1.7 billion. So in Honduras, what does that break down to? What does it look like as far as the producers and all of that? Well, Honduras is made up of 18 departments, which I guess you could say are like states or counties. 15 of those 18 produce coffee. 15 of 18 departments produce coffee. The workforce of the 100% of the coffee producing workforce, 30% of the workforce is women, 8% are children. 92% of the coffee producers are small families, small producers. 92%. Then there's a small percentage of medium producers that have larger farms, and then there's only 1% that are large industrial producers. So this is a support, it's an economical support for over 120,000 families here in Honduras. Here's another interesting statistic. Honduras is the largest coffee producer in Central America. Number one. Number one coffee producer in Central America. We are the third largest coffee producer on the entire North and South American continent. North America, when I say North America, I should clarify. United States, Canada, okay, they don't produce coffee. Okay, all coffee is produced in Central and South America. So of all the Central and South America region, Honduras is the third largest producer. And what about worldwide? How does Honduras stack up worldwide of coffee producers and exporters? We are number 7. Worldwide, number 7. Lucky number 7. Honduras is a heavyweight. Small country, but when it comes to the export of coffee, we are heavyweights. We're a hard hitter. Our exports are of coffee, 55% goes to Europe, 33% goes to the USA, still pretty big. 6% goes to Asia, another 6% to other countries, and that's how it's broken up. So that just gives you some ideas of how important coffee is to the Honduran economy. Not just the gross national product, but the individual families who work in that rely on this grain to survive. And most of the people that I know that work in this, they have a fairly decent lifestyle. They make good money. However, since very recently, Donald Trump placed 10% tariff recently on Honduras. That might go up now, but 10%. We already saw almost immediately an increase here locally in the supermarkets. The prices of coffee, everything shot up. Now you might be asking yourself, well, why would local prices go up? Isn't that just for exports? Well, no, yes and no. It's for exports, right? Obviously, they're having to pay more. But you have to understand, guys, like I'm saying, the majority of coffee that is produced in Honduras is for export. Okay, so if you look at how much is sold in export and how much is consumed locally here in the country, it's a abysmal difference, huge difference. So now that this 10% tariff is being placed on the export of coffee, that means that the amount of money potentially that they will be earning from those exports is now tanking. And so the coffee producers are panicking. And what are they going to try to do to make up that difference? Well, they're going to raise the prices here locally so that coffee that they're selling here to us, here in Honduras, in the supermarkets and other places, markets, they're going to get as much money out of them as they can while they can to try to make up for what they're losing in the coffee that's not being purchased now in the United States. So what does that look like for me? What does it look like for Colin and Patty and the rest of us that are living here? Well, the first one, let me just get these over here. Okay. This coffee, we bought both of them. I mean, really in the end, it's a minimal difference. Like I said, it's a little bit more the presentation. But we usually would buy, before we would buy this select coffee, the premium coffee, and it comes in this little bag, and this is exactly the measure that you need for your coffee maker, your coffee pot. Okay, you just pour that right in the filter, and that's put in the water. You're ready to go. Right here, it's measured. Okay, so we just went to the supermarket a couple days ago, and let's see, today is Monday. I believe we went on Friday. Last Friday, and this coffee, okay, the little bit less quality Cafe Maya used to cost 60 lempiras, okay, 60 lempiras, which is a little bit over $2.50, $2, okay, for the bag. And these bags, these have 14 of these little bags in them, 14 little bags, about $2.50, okay. So cost 60 lempiras. We went to the supermarket on Friday, and it went up to 90. Went up to 90 lempiras. So now it doubled. It doubled. That is a 50% increase. From 60 to 90 lempiras, a 50% increase. This bag doubled in price overnight. Literally. Overnight. We were going to buy this other one here, usually, because we usually buy this one. Okay? We usually buy this one. Okay? Which would cost around 70 lempiras. So again, a little bit more than $2.50. And less than $3. And guess how much this costs now? It used to cost 70 lempiras. Now it costs 102. 102 lempiras. Doubled in price. Doubled in price. So we didn't buy this one this time. We bought this one, the cheaper one. Because now, I mean, practically, we could have, the price that these are now, we could buy two of these. I mean, it's ridiculous. So in the end, I don't feel very liberated. I don't feel very liberated. If anything, I'm feeling more limited. And drink some coffee Maya. Coffee. Not feeling liberated. I'm feeling more oppressed. I'm feeling that my money is not producing the same. I saw our shopping cart emptier with less product. Before we would, at a time, just so we always have on hand, always, we would buy like two of these. This time, we only bought one, and we bought the cheaper one. And we've seen everything going up. Everything is going up. The only thing here that's been cheap is eggs and things like that, actually. So in that case, we've been lucky. We've been blessed. So I'm failing to see, who is this making great? Who is benefiting from this? The coffee producing, sector here in Honduras is suffering. They're panicking. Prices are going up. We're consuming less because the money is not reaching like it did before. When you have a product that doubles in price in one day, it's ridiculous. And we can't handle that impact here. For some people, a lot of people, probably 70% of the population here in Honduras, uh, that can mean not drinking coffee. Or maybe now the only thing they're going to be able to buy is just go to the corner shops in each neighborhood and just buy an individual little bag day by day. That's all they can do. People will stop drinking coffee. And this is a huge part of people's diet. Coffee is a huge part of the diet here. Liberation Day indeed. Well, thank you for watching this video. And I see the new subscribers. I just want to welcome all of you. Thank you for clicking on these videos. Thank you for subscribing. I'll see you in the next expat call-in. Be blessed.